Hello, everybody! Sorry, you caught us in the middle of something. That makes it seem like somebody else is starting this up. Hey, we're back with another Sunday Funday. Of course, the end of July, and we're talking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Because, like, nothing else came out this weekend, and we're not seeing fucking Lion King again. Have much better ways to waste our time. So, I am not going to lead us off in this instance, simply because of the fact that I probably enjoy a lot more Quentin Tarantino movies than I think Megan has. Also, I've seen more, and we'll let more of the novice of them, give their own opinion. So that way, if you're somebody who hasn't watched a Quentin Tarantino film, you'll be more in Megan's shoes. And if you have watched a ton, you've probably already watched this 8 times. So, what did you think of this? Knowing that you have never really loved or cared a ton for Tarantino flicks.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I've only really seen Pulp Fiction and a lot of Quentin Tarantino just filleting himself.
Yeah. Here's my piece. Oh. Yeah. There's a few ribs so that way you can properly do it.
But my thoughts. I surprisingly liked it. I mean, even though I haven't really seen much of the way of Tarantino's films, I think he's an overrated director. And it's like, surprisingly, for him both writing and directing this, I actually did not hate it.
Well, see, I think that's one thing we can all agree on. Regardless of you liking his directorial style, especially considering he doesn't like editing his movies a whole lot, and they're kind of a little bit of a mess. Even for the best way to say it, this movie does have its share of editing problems. This movie doesn't have anywhere near the editing issues I think, say, like a Pulp Fiction does. Sorry, I know y'all think that's the best movie ever. It's alright. Pulp Fiction has a lot of problems.
Yeah, Uma Thurman could totally be taken out of the movie and you wouldn't miss nothing.
Yeah, it's a subplot that really just doesn't go anywhere, and by the end of everything, it doesn't add up to much except for maybe a few interesting scenes, but even then, it's like, it's not gonna take away anything except for 30 minutes of the fucking movie. Because even then, there is nearly 20 minutes of that are worthless. Although we still get the great John Travolta gif of... which we all love and use. Though I think we have not touched upon you haven't talked about two of Quentin Tarantino's worst movies. I think we all have to agree on, because thankfully you have not seen them. And that, of course, is Death Proof. I know a lot of people like to try and say, oh, he's trying to do this. It sucks so much compared to Planet Terror, and it's like, Planet Terror is a perfect kind of grindhouse kind of film, It's this, really just, it feels like it's supposed to be cheaply made. It almost looks like it at times beyond the CGI. But even then, that kind of works for the crappy CGI it has. And on top of everything, it feels fun. Planet Terror does. Death Proof feels just like it wastes my fucking time till the last 30 minutes, where you get to understand what Kurt Russell's deal is, and then see the 3 stunt women that end up killing him. Oh, I spoiled the movie. Yeah, but beyond that, it's like nearly an hour and a half of nothing. And you're just sitting there going, I don't fucking care, Quentin. You're talking about movies again. It's just Quentin just jamming his cock as deep into his throat as possible. So Death Proof's kind of a steaming turd in a nice way. It's got a good ending, but it's got a shitty first and second act. And then, I have to say it, Reservoir Dogs is really bad, y'all. Sorry. There is some decent character bits. And a lot of talking about actions happening. Not a whole lot of anything really substantial happening.
Kind of the show don't tell disease.
No, it's got the opposite. It's got the tell, don't show disease.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like show us, don't tell us.
And it suffers from that so badly, and it also doesn't help the fact that there's whole chunks of the movie that could have been edited out. So that's kind of a running theme with Quentin Tarantino, is that he has a lot of issues of not editing out much. In fact, I would probably say his best that I have seen. Mind you, I have not seen The Hateful Eight. There's another movie I've missed of his. I can't remember what it is. Jackie Brown. Sorry, I have not seen Jackie Brown. Never seen Jackie Brown?
No.
I was going to say, you hear the N word a lot. It's like, whoa, okay, Quentin, let's see where you sit.
Well, it's like he himself makes an appearance in Pulp Fiction, and he drops the N word a couple times in front of Samuel L. Jackson. It's like, how are you a badass Samuel L. Jackson letting this
little scrawny shit?
Yeah, this little scrawny cracker get away with it? I was like, this is totally unbelievable. Like, really?
But yeah, the best one I've seen, like I said, mind you, there's two that I haven't seen. Probably is Django Unchained. It has a little bit of its editing issues, but I think it's probably his cleanest movie he's ever done. And it, by God, is it actually fun to watch. This movie, there is a lot of that self-gratification that Quentin Tarantino loves to partake in. But here it doesn't feel as self-gratifying because it makes sense in context of the story. And that's one of the things that Quentin Tarantino has always struggled with. Despite he wants to talk about movies, talk about some of his love for all these, and pretty much film drop all these other things. Like, oh, I'm going to drop this movie. We're going to talk about this Italian and spaghetti western and stuff like that. It never always fit into context. Like, one of the worst parts I was talking with Megan about with Inglourious Basterds is the fact that, there is this one French girl who's trying to get revenge against the Germans, and this one German guy who they talk about films together. That plot point really doesn't go anywhere till the final bit, and even then it just ends like, oh, they kill each other. Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Like a big payoff, just kind of...
Yeah, and...
payoff, like, was it good for you? Because it wasn't good for me.
Yeah, and on top of everything, they take up a lot more time than the Bastards characters, or even their attempt to try and get in to kill the Fuhrer, which is the whole point of the movie. Well, after a bit, I think. It's like, really, it detracts from the entire film. Here, talking about movies, talking about making movies, showing the behind-the-scenes stuff.
It makes sense because a lot of it is focusing on this kind of has-been actor from like this 50s kind of western show that's trying to launch a movie career.
Late 50s, early 60s. Think of, like Esquire's done a whole thing. They've actually talked about all the different kind of homages to different actors and actresses even. And also pop stars, as we would call them nowadays. But yeah, it actually is a lot of homage to all these different people. I'm not going to name them because I was like, I don't know who the hell that is. But that's actually kind of a sign of how, this movie kind of is working. In the fact that it has this fake character called Rick Dalton. And his sidekick, who's kind of, not real sidekick, but his stunt double, who's kind of befriended.
I would say he's like probably the only friend he really has.
Yeah. But they actually, of course, that's played by Brad Pitt.
Who's hilarious in this. Yes, Cliff Booth. John Wilkes. Who?
John Wilkes.
Cliff Booth.
There's some actually funny little bits here and there with Cliff. And Cliff and Rick, I'll just call them that way, they actually play off each other really well whenever they're together. Unfortunately, they don't have as many scenes as I would really like for them to be together. Because they have it's a very brotherly chemistry together.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get the bromance of, like, oh, they could be secret gay lovers, like you would think with Timon and Pumbaa. More, you just like, oh, they look like they're great pals.
Yeah, they have a very, like, kind of brotherly bond, like...
Yeah, and it's adorable. They're just...
Yeah... Brad Pitt almost kind of feels like a big brother is almost kind of like trying to look out for Rick. He's like, oh, yeah, I got your back. It's like, yeah, you don't always, treat me right, but it's like, I'm here for you, dude.
Yeah, but at least that is also one thing that Leonardo DiCaprio's Rick Dalton, one thing that actually kind of does endear him to the whole audience, I would say, is the fact that he's not a despicable character.
Yeah.
Not like he is in Django Unchained. Whoa. He's kind of a pathetic loser, but you feel for the guy. It's like he's trying his best. He's not.
Yeah, and it's not like he treats Brad Pitt like shit.
Yeah, it's not like, wipe my feet, slave. He understands. Like, he actually feels bad. Like, they show one point when he's like, hey, I'm not really going to be able to pay you anymore. It's like,
he's like, I'm going to have to let you go.
Yeah,
so.
it's like we'll try and figure it out. And he even kind of explains. And it feels genuine. It's not like one is like, oh, I just, nope, I have to do something else. He feels like he's upset that he's having to do this to his best friend.
Yeah, they even decide to get together and hang out, just get blackout drunk, just
one last time.
Yeah, celebrate the end of an era, celebrate pretty much going their separate ways.
Yeah, and it's actually fun. It's cool. I like that. Leonardo DiCaprio still is fucking awesome throughout this entire movie.
Brad Pitt, I think, really shines though.
I think he does kind of steal the show at points.
Yes.
There is points to not only was he badass, there's points to where he has just this complete nerd, just like world weariness that you would expect from a guy like this.
Yeah, I mean, this one, well, just let y'all know there's a bit of a take on Charles Manson and Sharon Tate and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And one of Charles Manson's followers, Brad Pitt gives a ride to, and she's trying to
recruit him, it seems, or...
Well, she's trying to seduce him at one point. He's like, how old are you?
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to jail for...
It's like, well, how old are you? It's like, I'm old enough not to go to jail for poontang. Alright, damn, that line's funny. That line's really funny.
Yeah, he is just so funny. He's kind of carefree, like, whatever, I'm just doing my own thing. But at the same time, he, like he said, he has a world awareness about him. Like, it's like, I don't want to have to kick your ass, but I will if I gotta.
Like, there's a scene, y'all have seen in the trailers, where him and the Bruce Lee, because it actually was supposed to be Bruce Lee from Green Hornet, and I will give this guy that much who does play him in this movie. He has Bruce Lee's mannerisms to a fucking T. It's kind of scary.
Yeah, he's almost kind of spoofing.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee.
I think it's the same guy from fucking... Oh, what's the name of that movie? I watched it not last year, year before.
Oh, the one about Bruce Lee going up against that one guy?
Yeah, and it sucked.
Yeah, I know. I just can't remember the name of it either, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, he looks exactly like him. I will say that much.
I was going to look him up here in a minute.
Yeah, I'll do it a bit. Yeah. It's not that important.
Yeah.
But he has like this kind of like fight between him and Bruce Lee. And it's... Like, damn, is it funny?
Yeah, because pretty much like having a little contest, he's more badass. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, first one to hit the ground loses.
Best 2 out of 3.
Yeah, best 2 out of 3. And Bruce Lee, like, does like kind of flying kick, kind of knocks Brad Pitt on his ass. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like, okay, try it again. And Bruce Lee goes for it, and Brad Pitt's like...
Just grabs him, throws him into a car. It's funny.
Like, dents the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Kurt Russell's wife. Like, what'd you do to my out of that car? Like, yeah, that'd probably be.
Uh-huh.
It's like, honey, let me handle
it. Yeah, and there's also just cameos galore because Quentin Tarantino...
Michael Madsen.
Yeah, Michael Madsen. They pulled him out of a pile of coke.
Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah, you probably have seen that he's in it via the trailers. They make a big deal, even though he's not really that big of a part of the movie. And realistically, I would say there's 2, maybe 3 stars of this, and that is, of course, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, who, like I said, Leonardo DiCaprio kind of feels like he's technically playing second fiddle to Brad Pitt at times. But again, it's one of those, like, you can juggle, see who's the main character. And then, of course, there's Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate. And I know people have kind of gave this shit the fact that she doesn't have very many lines. To be fair, her subplot, I guess is the best way to say it, is not one that's built up a ton. I don't really want to spoil a
There's
lot.
kind of a reason for that.
Yeah.
But things really get chugging along at the end, and
Yeah, once it gets...
that's when the shit really starts hitting the fan and it gets
Yeah.
really crazy. It's hilarious.
Yeah, and realistically, this movie is meant to be a comedy drama. It's something that Quentin Tarantino has been able to kind of perfect recently. It actually does hit the beats of, alright, this is going to make you laugh at the same time while you might feel a little, oh, and you're going to feel like you're almost watching a bit of a behind-the-scenes thing.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
works,
it almost feels
I
like
think.
watching a biographical movie about some, an actual, television film star from
Yeah.
the 50s and 60s.
Yeah, it does. It's one of those that, like I said, the fact that Quentin Tarantino is constantly talking about and showing off all the stuff throughout this movie about behind the scenes of different movies and also this and that.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean, it's once upon a time in Hollywood.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, okay, that's fine. Now, if he had made this all about, let's say, Broadway and talked none about Broadway and just talked about movies the whole time, that would be a problem. But here, since it's centrally located completely in Hollywood, all of it feels much more, there's a reason this exists. There's a reason we're talking about this.
Yeah, his kind of self-indulgent style kind of actually works, and it feels at the same time that he's kind of pulled back a little bit. Like
He's not as like, the whole time
Yeah,
just jizzing on your face.
just tune his own horn. And I was like, oh, look how awesome I am. Like, yeah, he's kind of pulled back on it, and surprisingly kind of pulled back a little bit on not on the violence, but like the blood. And I mean, Kobe amounts of blood in one scene. Actually, two scenes.
Well, to be fair, I think that's because this movie didn't need it as much.
Yes, and that's saying it's like unnecessary blood. Just has no.
And I've never had a problem with Quentin Tarantino getting a little bloody.
Well, it's not that I have an issue with him getting bloody. It's just it has to be, like, a better way to put it, organic to the story. Much like nudity.
Yeah, he usually, if I can give Quentin Tarantino this much, he tends to have a reason for it, and it tends to fit a little bit better than in other movies I've seen it in.
Usually in Django Unchained, the whole scene with Leonardo DiCaprio cutting his hand.
Yeah, it legitimately
Yeah,
fucking up
actually.
his hand.
It's like,
Yeah, the reason why I actually was freaking out is because he's legitimately just rubbing his blood on her face. It's like, oh, hey, well,
yeah, I'm really
thanks,
like,
Leo, for being weird. But yeah, this is I really like this. I really enjoyed it. Sure, it's Quentin Tarantino masturbating on the screen at times, but it never felt as indulgent as, like I've said, Inglourious Basterds, Pulp Fiction. Hell, even Kill Bill. I really like Kill Bill. Well, Volume 1. Kill Bill Volume 2 can go fuck itself.
oh, that's another movie I've seen. I've seen at least most of Kill Bill Volume 1 and most of Kill Bill Volume 2. Not to say that I've seen the movie, I think.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Kill Bill Volume 2 is worthless. Like, it legitimately is a worthless movie. You could miss Kill Bill Volume 2 and not miss anything.
I would say I know the basic premise. So I'm good.
No, wait till you watch it. It's 95% talking.
Yeah, I just like Oren Ishii. Lucy Liu's character.
Oh, okay. I was like, mind you, I haven't seen Kill Bill. So,
Yeah, I like being all badass. Hulk Hogan's like, I will fucking.
I will, like this fucker right here. So if anyone has a fucking problem, now's the fucking time. Alright, Lucy. Oh, but literally shaking down that guy's neck after cutting his head off.
I was like, damn, I am afraid of you, and also kind of, as a straight woman, in love with you.
One bit,
It's like, make me your love slave. I don't care. It's like,
But yeah, he's never made it to where it feels like, oh, well, suddenly we have this really gory, violent scene in the middle of, like, I don't know, like they're in the middle of tea and it doesn't fit in the story. He's always tried to make it to where it feels a little bit more organic to the story than just, say like Miracle at St. Anna, where it's like, oh, cool, I'm gonna have this random fucking violent scene that kind of just comes the fuck out of nowhere while Spike Lee tries to pretend he knows anything about race relations because he fucking hates white people. Sorry, Spike Lee's a racist. He just fucking is. Uh, yeah, I don't mind Quentin Tarantino's violence here and there, and it, like I said, and I don't mind here his pretension that he does delve into. Now, if you do have an issue with Quentin Tarantino, like I said, he decides to jerk his own cock off on your face every now and then with the movies. There is a few scenes that kind of does focus simply on just the characters trying to be. There's not as much pretension in certain spots, and it does work. The movie still can probably use a little bit of editing because it is 2 hours and 40 minutes long. So if you are not one to like long movies, especially long movies that are not very action filled, like realist, and not only that, but you're not going to be guffawing throughout this entire movie. I think like the end we were laughing, whoa, a lot, but that's about it.
We're like, oh man, look at that bad night.
Somebody had a bad night.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad I didn't kill Puppy.
yeah.
Kill Puppy, I go Johnny Walk on your ass.
But as long as you're willing to put up with that, I think you're going to have a fun time with this movie. It's, like I said, at best, maybe I could say, edited this a little bit closer, but it's not, I never felt like, okay, entire scenes can be taken out of this. Because realistically, especially by the time I got to the end, I'm like, alright, I don't know a whole lot that could be taken out, maybe just pared down at best, is the only thing I could say.
Yeah, just kind of tighten it up just a little bit.
Yeah. Just don't go Paul W.S. Anderson on us. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like wearing corset. Just enough that, everything's being shown off, all the assets are being shown off, but not enough that you just cut off oxygen.
Yeah, and break a few ribs. Yeah, so, what would you give this as a final score? Because if we keep talking about it, we're going to start spoiling a lot of this.
Also, so much we can fillet Quentin Tarantino when he's too busy filleting himself.
I'm about to say, he's too busy with his own mouth around his own penis.
But I think for a final score, I'd have to give it an 8.
I'm going to go a little higher. I think I'm going to go a 9. This is not a perfect movie. Like I said, it still could use some tightening here and there. It's a little bit like, Quentin, I know you love your styles. There's some just got a little bit down. Just a little. It's like he's almost got it down to a perfect
Yeah, that's part of my problem with him, is that he kind of chooses style over substance sometimes.
Very much so. I get that. But here, his style never felt as aggressive as it does in certain Iron movies. Like in Pulp Fiction, it's very much, it's complete style over substance, where there's sometimes where you're like, I don't know what's fucking happening in this story.
Yeah, I mean, a scene with Uma Thurman and John Travolta just on a date, talking about movies, and then just...
Yeah, doing the most awkward dancing he's ever done since, Staying Alive. There's a movie y'all don't remember. The actual sequel to Saturday Night Fever. No, we don't need this taken down thanks to the Bee Gees. But yeah, I give this a 9. This, like I said, worst case scenario, I could say it needs to be a little bit edited down. And I will say, it's like, this isn't a movie for everyone. I totally understand that. But if you're kind of a little bit bummed out on the fact that there's a lot of kind of shit movies that have been out lately, like Spider-Man Far From Home was the best movie we've seen in the past month. Short of this. It's like, I think you're going to enjoy this movie. I think that if you want to have something where, alright, I can watch it and I don't feel stupid as well. Because that's one thing that I think Quentin Tarantino tries to do. He tries to make you feel dumb.
Like, oh, aren't I clever?
Yeah, look how smart I am about movies.
Aren't I such an auteur?
And thankfully...
It's like, you're not as high art as you want to think you are.
Yeah, thankfully here it feels a lot more natural to the story and
yes,
actually feels realistic.
Yeah, like we keep saying, it actually works for the whole thing. It just... I don't know, some scenes could be tightened up a little bit, but...
It doesn't feel like, oh, I could do without the subplot or anything like that. And I never felt that way. Like, I'm like, okay, why is this here? Like with Uma Thurman. Or entire characters in Inglourious Bastards. Like I said, I can compare this to Django Unchained in the fact that there's very little I would cut out of it. At best, I just scenes a little. But still, it's like, if that's the worst I can say about a movie, it's like, oh, I feel like some of the scenes go a little too long. Or this one take is just a little long. It's like, I've seen worse. It's like, there's a lot worse that have pissed me off more. But, hey, we do need to talk about one thing, and that is August. Because we're going into the next month within just a few days, because as we're recording this, it's the 28th of July.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about what we're going to be watching, which y'all can look forward to in August. And next week I'm going to hang myself is what it is. We're going to be watching Calvin and Hobbes, and I cannot tell you how many shits I don't give. I fucking don't care. I know that they're trying to be bad, but just spend $3 and just have them punching little guys in green suits. What does this have to do with the Fast and the Furious? Why? Just call it Calvin and Hobbes with how cartoony it is. I don't fucking care. Megan's probably going to like it, and I'm going to, like I said, I'm just going to be...
At the very least, I'm hoping it's me.
It's going to be bad. The last one was bad. The one before that was not good. The one before that was pretty crappy, and then there's
on with
bad action. Blech. That's the best thing I can say about it. The 9th, or the weekend of the 9th, we're going to see Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, because I don't give two flying fucks about Dora. And the kitchen, I doesn't look all that interesting, and I thought Art of Racing in the Rain was a parody, because I swore that was trying to be goofy. So lo and behold, to my surprise, whenever instead we had something a lot more serious that I didn't care for. It's like somehow they made Look Who's Talking to Now into a serious film. Yeah, that's the one about the dog who wants to race cars.
I know which one. What you want?
Airbud 48 racing the cars in the rain. Bud racing. Oh, so the weekend of the 14th, we're probably going to see Good Boys, because I could not tell you how much I don't like Bruce Springsteen music, so I'm not going to watch Blind by the Light.
I'm kind of curious about Blinded by the Light.
I fucking cannot stand Bruce Springsteen's voice. I would rather stab myself in the ears with a knife.
We were born to run.
He sings it like he's gargling acid. It's just the most unpleasant noise to hear. Next to that of your own dick getting stuck in a meat grinder. And no, we're not going to go see Angry Birds movie 2. First one, actually, I haven't seen the first one.
And I don't care.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't fucking want to go see it. I've already watched enough shitty kids movies this year. I'm good.
One just last week.
Yeah. For the weekend of the 21st, well, technically 23rd, we're probably going to go see Angel Has Fallen as our big one. If we're going to have time, we're going to also try and catch a screening of Ready or Not.
Please.
Looks interesting. I'm much more interested in seeing Angel Has Fallen.
I'm more interested in Ready or Not, because I haven't seen the first two.
I got 'em. To show you.
Still, Ready or Not looks a lot more interesting.
You haven't... Wait till you see the other Has Fallen movies. They'll actually show you. It's like, hey... I almost want to show it to everybody who directs Fast and Furious movies. Like, hey, here's how you make a fun action movie. Mm-hmm. And then, since August technically ends on a Friday or Saturday, we're going to have one other movie, and we're going to go watch Don't Let Go. Because we're not going to go see Playmobil the movie, because we are sane, normal humans.
And we saw both Lego movies, so we're good.
We've seen all 4 Lego movies that have come out.
I was talking about, like, the actual, like, the Lego movie, or Lego Movie 2, the second part. I'm not including, like, Ninjago and...
Batman?
Yeah.
That was fucking funny. And we laughed at the entire damn time.
Yeah. I feel like, since we've seen all those Lego movies, we've seen Playmobil the movie.
Yeah, since it looks exactly like it's trying to rip off Lego the Lego movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's August.
Yeah, that's what I originally first saw when I saw the trailer. I was like, okay, obviously we're trying to rip off Lego movies. Or the Lego style. And it's like, Playmobil, like, yeah, we're ripping off Lego.
Well, it's cheap Lego. This is all it is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be August for
How
y'all.
do we know that when we don't have kids? I'm just saying.
That's going to be August. So, we'll see y'all then. It's going to be like 2 movies that are going to be worth a shit, and the rest of it I'm going to just...
Hang yourself.
Oh, yeah. It'll be better than watching anything from Fast and Furious. And
These.
you just going to see my feet hanging.
So your legs just swinging.
Yeah. Sorry to take that in a dark turn. Just, I fucking don't care. I just don't goddamn care anymore. Not about the Fast and the Furious movies. I haven't cared about them since the 4th one when I watched the 4th one. I know people love them. China loves it. Because, China loves a lot of shitty movies. But hey, we'll see y'all throughout the rest of August, and we'll let y'all know whether these movies are actually worth a damn. Probably going to be a whole lot of... So, until then, we'll see y'all there. So, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.